Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of A Dagger for Sightblinder. May find shade this day. Sarah, how are you?
I'm good, Adam. How are you?
I'm good. We're talking about the finale today, and there are a lot of thoughts going on. Apparently, in Sarah's head, she told
I have
me
so many
she
thoughts,
messaged me. She was like, "You were like, I have thoughts."
which is what I tell you after
Yeah,
every single episode.
yeah, yep. I'm always like, really? Just I want to pretend like I'm surprised, like, whoa.
But you're not.
Whoa, you have thoughts about things.
You're like, I finished the episode. That means Sarah's probably thinking something.
Right, she probably has thoughts. Yeah, thoughts. With air
Because this
quotes.
is the thing is I watch it before you do, I'm pretty sure, almost every
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to actually like give you my opinion and taint your viewing experience.
Mm.
So I
Well,
just say I have thoughts.
good. Yeah. I mean,
I'm being a considerate friend.
that's good. I mean, and you're proving yourself not to be vapid as well by proving that you have thoughts. So good.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm just happy to have a podcast co-host
Mhm.
isn't vapid. So it's all good. So anyways, what did you overall this episode, where does it rank in the hierarchy of your favorites?
Honestly,
Yeah.
it
No,
was not my favorite.
tell us a lie. Just make something up, Sarah. Please.
Rude.
Hopeful.
um, it was not my favorite.
That's fair.
It's probably pretty low down there.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. I did not enjoy it as much as I wanted to enjoy it.
Yeah, I wanted to enjoy it a lot more than it allowed me to.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
I'm there with you. So I didn't do it for you,
no.
as Lone Star would ask.
No.
Okay, okay.
uh yeah.
So where?
I
Yeah,
I just wanted more. I wanted more everything. I wanted more action. I wanted more wolves. I wanted more channeling. I
yeah.
wanted more info.
I wanted less balcony talking.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm on a balcony. We're gonna have a dramatic minute or seven
I
here.
I just wanted more. And it felt like, you know what it felt like? It felt like they were trying to do this really big finale that would hook you and make you want to watch season 2, and there'd be like this really great showdown battle, and then it was like they planned this whole thing, and the production house was like, all right, it's going to cost this much money, and they're like, oh, we have $25.
Right.
That's what it felt like,
Yeah,
which is sad.
it was very disappointing.
And
I was,
we'll get into it. It was disappointing.
yeah. I will say this. I was right, basically. Like I basically called what the episode was going to be like.
I was a little bit right.
What did you say yours was going to be?
I said Matt wasn't going to be in it, which
Which is
he was in
mostly
it for
correct. Yeah.
a whole 3 seconds, which by the way, that whole 3 seconds is basically cutting room floor footage.
Right.
Like that could easily have been shot at any point through the whole season from any episode of when they were going to
Yeah, yeah.
and
Oh yeah. We should. So in our last episode, we were like, so we were speculating on what
right.
happened with him, and we've learned that we have apparently just missed this thing where he
Yeah.
didn't like after what was it, episode 6 was filmed or something,
Mhm.
then they all dispersed for COVID. things,
Right.
right? And
And then
then
he just didn't come back.
he just didn't. So they had to improvise a little bit, which whatever. That's unfortunate, but I don't know. I guess it opens the door for. They kind of implied that he just like went evil.
Yeah,
I was like,
which
okay,
I don't love.
no, nope, he's not an evil guy.
No.
He likes to think he's a scoundrel, and I guess he's a scoundrel a little bit. He's kind of a knave, but he's a good-hearted man at his core. So, anyways,
Anyway.
yeah, there's this whole list of rips that you and I compiled.
Yeah.
We'll have
We
to
need
get
to we need
get
to
into that.
compile that whole thing, or go over that whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start with this. Like, okay, actually I do know where to start. Let's start at the very beginning, which was
Yeah.
essentially the prologue when we were seeing Lews Therin.
Right.
That was not at all what I wanted.
I thought that was interesting.
Like, on a scale of 0 to 10, let's say 1 to 10, 1 being not at all what I wanted, and 10 being, yes, nailed it out of the park. That's exactly the information I wanted from Lews Therin. It was like a -27.
That's an oddly specific number. And I love that you said you corrected yourself. You said on a scale from 0 to 10. You're like, no, wait. 1 to 10. like that extra number mattered somehow.
It didn't matter.
Then you got to -27 anyways. It would have been granted it was less extreme if you hadn't made it into 1 to 10, but
Maybe that's why I subconsciously did it. But like, it just, that was not like it just left more questions for me, which maybe is a device that they're planning to use for later seasons to have those flashbacks some more.
Yeah.
But it was just irritating.
I like that better than the Lews Therin killing his whole family and everyone in a castle, going crazy and making a mountain of himself. That happens at the start of book 1. I like this a lot better. Actually, I was like, oh, this is cool. I actually, that was one of the better parts of the episode, in my opinion.
But now I have all these questions.
Well, it gave context too of what it used to be like. It was all technologically advanced back then, and
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it also gives context of what the 100 companions were and what they did, and you don't learn about that till way later. Like,
right.
if the women had helped, then things might have gone better. But instead, so you saw in this show and in a few other episodes, the women can link, right?
Mm-hmm.
Men can't link. They can't do that unless they have women can only get to 13.
Right.
Link at once, unless they have a man to help, then they can get another 13. And then if they get another man to help, so a man can link and increase the size of their circles, their linking circles, so that you could have an enormous group of channelers all linked together with the source, but only if the channel of both sides work together. And men can't link at all unless they have a female to help them. Then they can get a bunch of men to channel as well. But it requires coordination, and so that's why Lews Therin wanted help from the females. Instead, he got 100 really powerful male Aes Sedai, but they were all individuals. They couldn't create like an enormous source of energy,
right,
the way they can when they link. So anyways, this is all stuff that you don't know about because you haven't read all the books.
I still didn't like it.
No, I just proved that you did like it. Okay. No, I get it. So what did you want? What you wanted the he kills his whole family scene or something else?
Yeah, I wanted he kills his. I mean, I don't necessarily need to see it. I'd be happy to see even just like the aftermath of that. You don't need to see the actual action sequence taking place, but I think that would have been better.
So I think that this sets the stage for that scene way better, though, because it shows, okay, so he's asking the women for help, and they're like, no, screw you, I'm the Amberlin. And but okay, so he asks the women for help, and then And then you see Rand interacting with Ishamael, who is one of the Forsaken, who, by the way, they call him the Dark One. But then if you like click on if you hit pause on Amazon Prime, it tells you who all the characters are supposed to be, and it's Ishamael, which the whole time that's kind of how it's, you're supposed to think it's the Dark One, but it's actually the whole time just the Dark One's like best, most capable Forsaken or whatever. But he so it sets the stage so much better though, because now it shows like, okay, the start of it, he's gonna go off with his 100 companions and it's all beautiful and lovely and all this stuff. And then now at the start of season 2, they could start it with Lews Therin just destroying everything and him interacting with Ishamael, and then we'll have more context of what happened. Why did this happen?
So do you think that's how they would start season 2?
Maybe it's
how they should.
Maybe they'll show that at the end of season 2. I don't know. I think that they will show that though, and that scene will have more meaning now that we know more about that interaction, in my opinion.
Okay, we'll see if I agree with you.
I guess we will. No, that's my thought. I don't mean to invalidate. I know that you wanted that. That's fair. I just never liked that scene much, and you liked it more than I did. Like, it's more interesting to you. So
yeah,
I just there's enough scenes of people going mad and killing everyone in this show, I feel like. So
I feel like it also just would have really highlighted why it is so important to find the dragon reborn, and I don't want to say like help control him, but help him stop from getting tainted and going mad. Like, I think that would have been a really great way to highlight that.
Okay.
Because you would see, like, because all you have seen realistically, all you have seen in the show so far is Logain, who was a false dragon. You haven't actually seen a dragon go mad. So I feel like that would be more impactful to see that. And then right away, you could contrast that to Rand. And Rand, you could have a scene of Rand like thinking back to accepting that he is the dragon. Like, you could see that, you could contrast that right away to see him being torn about it. And then right there as a viewer, like, oh, he's gonna go crazy.
Sure. Well, yeah, I think that'll be an important part of whatever Rand's arc is that they choose, is
right.
How he's setting off alone, and he's like, I'm gonna go mad, and they're going to show what happens to Lews Therin then,
right,
is my guess.
Okay,
that's fair. I just liked seeing the technologically advanced scene, like with all the they're called like show wings and stuff. You don't know that yet, but they have a few flashbacks kind of in the book series. So yeah, it was fun to see the context of. It's nice. They have like nice modern furniture, and yeah, as opposed to like Rand is the only one with a nice coat.
He is the dragon.
Yeah, he needs to stay warm.
Right.
Where does a general keep his armies?
Oh.
It's a joke. In his sleeveys. Someone told me that the other day. I was like, oh, I remember that.
Oh no.
That's a good one. You're lucky I didn't tell you that while you were drinking your water. You'd have done the spit take there for sure.
No. Nope.
That spit take written all over it.
Okay, so I feel like we've talked about Lews Therin enough. That's the only scene he's in.
I thought he looked cool for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's fine. A lot of people look cool. Okay, so what next?
Where do we start dissecting
Should we just go like talk about Rand and Moraine,
Yeah.
and then we can talk about the others? Like
Yeah.
we can do two different arcs, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Which
So
one do you want to do first? I'll let you choose.
let's do let's do the others first. Let's save Rand and Moraine because I have thoughts.
You keep insisting that. If you insist that enough times, I'm gonna start thinking you don't.
Oh man. Let's start with the others first.
Sure.
So you have Perrin and Egwene in this room, and Egwene's like packing her bags and whatever, very obviously making it look like she wants to go into the Blight after Rand.
Mhm.
Which I kind of get. I don't know. I guess it makes sense with how they've built their relationship for the show, so that's
Yeah.
fine. And Perrin is very level-headed in a way about this. Not, I don't even know if level-headed is the right word, but he seems logical in not going after them.
Yeah. Like she's making an emotional decision. He's making a rational one.
Yeah. And then you have this whole like Lan Nynaeve. It felt like a goodbye scene.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the lines he used are from the books, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You are a lioness, and I will hate the man you choose,
Mm-hmm.
and love him for making you happy, or whatever. Like that's directly from the book. I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, they choose to do what the book does, and I'm like, oh, I recognize that. Okay.
I mean, I thought it was nicely done. I'm not knocking it. And I mean, we don't see Lan after that for a very long time. So
Right.
it
Oh,
kind of works out.
I thought it was funny. She's like, how do you have a tell when you're like tracking, when you're being tracked? Moraine has a tell. I don't know. It's just a funny thing. Moraine or Nynaeve is like, oh yeah, I didn't track you, Lan. I tracked Moraine. I tracked that girl you were with. Yeah, like she has a tell. I'll just tell you. I'll tell you how to. But okay, so all right, so let's track Moraine. I'll show you how to track Moraine. Moraine has a tell when she's on a horse, because I tracked you guys while you guys had horses.
Right.
But
Now she doesn't.
Moraine isn't. Yeah,
she's not on a horse now.
not on a horse. Not to mention, like Rand doesn't have a like. Is he trying to not be trackable as well? Like Land can't track. Whatever. I thought that she's like, he's like, oh yes, okay, perfect. Now I'll have an easy way to track Moraine, apparently.
Right. And no.
Okay.
I feel like they just weren't trying to hide it.
Yeah. I wanted him to stay with the Borderlanders and be like one of their be a commander for them. That's what I wanted for their big fight. And he left, and then
we literally don't see him until the end of the episode now.
Right.
Like,
which is going to disappoint those people who made that meme. Reasons I watch Wheel of Time. Only Lan.
Only Lan.
Pictures of Lan. Yep.
So they will watch a whole 10 minutes of this episode.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we've got some balcony talking with Nynaeve and Egwene.
Well, and between Nynaeve and, I mean, that's gonna, yeah. Lan and Nynaeve have that talking. Nynaeve and Egwene. And I mean, really, like Egwene and Perrin they're not on a balcony, but it was a lot of little side conversations. Yeah, I felt like they took too long on those. I don't know, but
yeah,
in an episode where there was the potential for a lot of really cool stuff, they spent a whole lot of time dramatically looking at each other
and wanting to know what to do and how to help.
Right. Well, oh gosh, yeah. So Oh man, there's just so much to talk about. I do feel more negative about this one. There was some cool stuff. I did like that Uno
Mhm.
was swearing. Like that was cool. You know, he's like those flaming goat kissing what a
Yeah.
Trollocs. You know, it's very in character of Uno. Uh, but yeah, and you have this scene with like Amelisa, Lady Amelisa, and
Mhm.
Lord Agelmar, and you know, they they reminisce for hours. It seems they're just like, let's really take our time on this scene as well.
Yeah, it was a lot of. It just felt like a lot of back and forth.
Which that's not what I was looking at. I don't feel like it really made the story deeper or in any way. Like,
No.
how would you feel if the guy you have a crush on like was riding off to battle and he was just like, go pick someone else, basically, like I'm gonna die, like I don't know. It's just like, does his discussion on that like help you in any way, or is it just you being dramatic, him being dramatic? I don't know.
I don't know. I
Maybe it
feel
would
like it.
help.
I don't think it would help.
Okay. Anyways, that's probably beside the point. I've always liked Lan, and I liked how it's kind of poetic of him, really, of, I'll hate the
Yeah.
man you choose, but I'll love him for making you smile. I mean, I've always liked that scene, but um yeah, but it felt like it took a really long time to get into like the really climactic, exciting parts.
It did feel like that. I did enjoy their interaction with Min in the inn.
Yeah.
I thought that was good, and I thought that I did think that that added a little bit to it because you got to learn more about not necessarily about her, but just more of her basically being like, it doesn't really matter what I saw because everything I've seen has ended up happening anyway. It doesn't matter if it's good or
Right.
bad.
Right. Well, and I've always liked that, the idea that when she sees something, it's always going to happen. Just she
Mhm.
might not be able to interpret it the right way, anyways. But like the fact that people are trying to use it, and that like the entire series, whenever she's in it, she's showing people, telling people about the things she sees. The arrogance of people trying to, like, they will acknowledge that she can see the future, and yet they've decided that they are strong enough to beat whatever to bend that future to their own will. Just the
Mhm.
the arrogance of it is always been really interesting, instead of just accepting, okay, this is going to happen, maybe we make contingencies or whatever. But I mean, in a lot of ways, her tellings or viewings, I can't think of a time in the book series where it was like, oh, that was super helpful.
Right.
Like, it's a thing. And in this case, though, I think that they like found a kind of a way to make it, she's able to just say, well, it always happens, like it gives a peace at least.
Yeah. It's like a getting closure before it happens kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that. I thought the scene was well done when she even had her vision, if you that's even what you would call it,
Right,
while
her
they were in the inn.
viewing, I think, yeah,
Um,
that's what they end up calling it, at least.
yeah, so I thought that was well done, the way they handled that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then the Trolloc army comes, I guess.
Yeah, so Egwene is like, oh, I sense a bigger storm, but then they don't do anything.
No.
She's like, oh, okay, I sense a storm. Oh, it's exactly like Beltane, except way bigger. Okay, cool, that's great. Let's go to the bar.
Go to the bar. I
Like,
mean,
let's go talk to Min. Like, they didn't tell anyone in charge about it. Just,
no.
you know.
Can I just I I need to nitpick on the fact that like they have this Trolloc army coming in, and they're getting ready and whatever, they're defending the city. And I think it was Lady Amalisa that was like, I need all of the women that could channel. And that was when Egwene and
Mhm.
Nynaeve were like, oh, we can't leave. We've got to stay. And like there are 5 in the whole city. What?
Well,
5.
I mean, really, realistically, it's surprising that there were any there. Like,
But 5?
well, they're supposed to ship all the capable channelers to the White Tower. I don't know.
True.
Like, I don't know how many people. I don't know what they never give us a ratio. Like, okay, out of every 1,000 people, one person could channel.
It just felt so mediocre.
Well, and we don't know how big Faldara really is either.
True.
I
But I
love that
mean,
they're
like
like
when
this the city that's never fallen. It's like there's probably lots of like has Evans Field ever fallen? I don't know. Who
Yeah.
cares? Like that's a grand claim for anyways, go ahead.
But you have this like army defending the city and this Trolloc army and like all these grand things, and then 5
Right.
5 over here just linking up.
Right. Well, there's so many. I really disliked this whole sequence. So first off, they're
Mhm.
like the men have to go defend this thing and the women have to defend the other. Like, why can't they be mixed? Why do they have to like?
Right.
Let's bring gender into it for some reason. Like, women could make it their own army, I guess. I'm not saying that women couldn't defend like if it came down to it, women are just as capable as men in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Obviously there's like body strength issues, like in terms of females matching against men, but overall, like I don't have any problems with there being females in the army. What I don't know, how did you feel about it? Because it felt so like we have to demonstrate that the men will they'll die and it'll be like epic, but they'll die, and the women will hold the city and they'll be powerful and they don't need men. Like it seemed like a statement of some sort. What did you think though?
It was just very honestly, I was just so focused on the Trollocs coming in that I was like, this it just felt very it just felt like poor planning on Faldara's part. Like all of it just felt, I was like, this massive army was coming in. I was like, this is not gonna go well. Like you do not think this through. So
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily bothered by that. It just felt poor, especially when exactly what you were saying, where they're like, oh, the city's never fallen. I'm like, well, why don't you have a better plan in place? This seems like the fact that you've got Trollocs scaling the city walls and
Mhm.
just smashing into them with their pickaxes or whatever. And you can take your crossbow and shoot what, twice out that window before you get speared through the chest. That doesn't seem like a
Well,
good plan.
I'm like, okay, so if you have channelers, why aren't they there when the Trollocs are like piling up on top of each other? Like, why can't a channeler just like zap that whole like
Yeah,
group of clumped up Trollocs? Or why don't you have oil, like boiling oil that you just,
right. Something.
like hot water, a a
Something.
big boulder? It seems
A,
like
a big boulder. Anything. Literally anything.
right. Or like they have these cool windows. Like, why can't when the Trollocs like get to the top, like to that level, why can't they just like slam closed, like get some kind of fortifications that slams that window show closed, and then the Trollocs can't get in that way, and then they have to keep climbing the wall.
Right.
Like it seemed like a really poorly planned defensive arrangement. And why do men have to be there? Why can't women, if they're soldiers, why can't they be part of it?
Right.
I just don't get it. Like I'm all for empowering women. I truly am. I'm like, in this case, it's not showing that women are powerful. It's showing that they should be left alone for the last, like, well, the men are gone, the people who are capable are gone. Like, feel free.
Feel
Like
free.
do as you will. We don't care. Like the important people are gone anyways.
Right.
In a way, it seemed the opposite of empowering women. But then you have the channelers. Enter the channelers who
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be in Faldara. Like let's expose our most important people just in front of Faldara, who
Yep.
can apparently deal with all of the Trollocs on their own without a single life lost, except for maybe some channelers who are going to lose their lives regardless.
Right. It was very and this was a part for me where I was like, I was a little confused as to where exactly they were in relation to the army. And I just didn't understand
Right.
why there were no reinforcements with them. Like, why was no one else there?
Right. Like the channelers are going to be like, okay, well, we spend ourselves, now we're dead.
Right.
Okay, like at Lady Emily
Maybe,
should be. She's presumably she's wearing the armor. She's their commander. She should be there to help direct the defenses. She's not just an individually powerful person. She should be. Her focus should be defending the city.
right. And it felt very much like you guys go over here and do your best. Hopefully it works, because if it doesn't, this is a massive gap in our defensive plan.
Yeah.
Like, if this doesn't work, they're just gonna stroll on in.
Yeah. I just didn't. And it was kind of cool seeing all the lightning and just tear them all apart. That was kind of cool, but it never felt that menacing or epic. It was just like, oh, all right, so a bunch of guys went and died, and now there was almost no reason. And I liked how she was drawing too much power. I liked that the other two channelers like died from it. I mean, that it's horrific, obviously, but
Right.
you know, that was kind of a realistic kind of thing. But I don't know. It just that whole sequence just kind of irritated me.
Yep.
Obviously. And meanwhile, Perrin is busy accomplishing nothing whatsoever.
Nothing.
He's like, what do I do? The way of the leaf doesn't seem like the thing. And Loyal's like, well, maybe you should just ask, and maybe then you can be helpful. And Perrin's like, I'm gonna ask. And then they're like, we could use you to help break some stones. It's like, thanks. Like any person could help with that. And then they randomly have the Horn of Valir, which they just set aside.
Yeah.
And
so I was like, I was a little concerned actually when they were getting that. I was like, I don't like this. I was like, this is not, nope.
Why couldn't the Horn of Valir been at the Eye of the World with Moraine? Why couldn't that have happened? Like, I don't see a reason right now. In the books, that's how it happens. They find the Horn of Valir in the Eye of the World, and then they just don't find it. It's just, hey, look, it's randomly in the keep of Faldara. They don't really even tell you how. They're like, oh, by the way, so the men. Oh my gosh, this also. Okay, so. Okay, so Agelmar's like, I'll take the men. The males will go, except for like my most powerful sergeant and like some random lord. Like these guys who are like part of my honor guard, kind of. They're gonna just stay back. They're not gonna join me.
No, he doesn't need them.
No, like
he's too busy getting speared to the wall.
Yeah. Like who cares that he's a guy who survives all the way till book 14. You know, in the books, like he can die, like rip Lord Agelmar, but like it's literally fine. Ripped. He got torn asunder. So yeah, these guys are like, let's just break out the Horn of Valir. Why not?
Right.
I guess it's plausible. He could have like said, okay, guys, look, you have a secret mission. You need to go get the Horn of Valir. But so Perrin is like, oh. Well, I saw something. So he goes off and then he comes back and everyone, including Loyal and Uno and everyone is just, they're all dead.
They're all dead because Padan Fain broke out of whatever he was in, wherever they were holding him.
Oh, they didn't hold.
Or not holding him.
You're mixing it up with the book.
He was with his Myrddraal.
Yeah.
And you know, 2 random girls also got decapitated.
Well, that's fine.
That's
You know?
fine. That's fine.
Right. Well, because there's no men there, so they have to decapitate women. It's okay.
Yeah.
I
There's
mean,
a lot of
I'm equal opportunity of decapitation, really, and when all things are said and done, yeah, give everyone the equal chance to get decapitated by Myrtle. It's fine.
yeah, so that happened, and then he just goes and kills everyone.
Yeah, and then Perrin shows up, and he's like, I was like, oh, this could be like an epic fight scene at least.
Right?
Maybe they leave like a Myrtle behind, and we just get a gratuitous fight, and it's like, hey, look, Perrin did something this whole season at all.
I was thinking like maybe when he walked back in there and you see it all like you see
Yeah.
Loyal dying and all this nonsense. I was like, okay, this is gonna trigger Perrin. Like it's gonna happen.
Right, we're gonna get a becoming moment, a moment where
Yeah,
he
I was
becomes.
like here
Yeah.
it is, and it didn't happen.
He's like, I'm just gonna stare at you, and I'll hold my axe. I don't have a problem holding my axe.
Right? I was like,
But
I will say that I did like that he was eyeing the axe and like looking towards it.
mhm.
I did like that little interaction. I feel bad that I'm just ripping on the whole episode, but I did like that interaction.
Sure. I like Padan Fain being kind of like this cool villain. Like he's more interesting than the wretch we see in the books.
Yeah. Yeah. I did enjoy that. And I did enjoy he was, like you're all five of you are Targaryen. So you're all
Right.
needed or necessary or whatever.
Mhm.
I did enjoy that. But I was like, Perrin, man, just like do literally again, it's that meme of the guy with the stick being like, do something. Like, come on.
Right. He's like, I'm just gonna get tortured. Okay.
Right.
All right. Now that I've been tortured, I'm gonna stand menacingly and let the wolves do my work for me. And
Right.
and Egwene do my work for me. And then what what would you say you do
What would you
here?
say you do here?
Like, I don't like the way they've handled Perrin. It's true that he becomes more and more like he gains momentum through the book series at least. So maybe that's what they're waiting for. But
But okay, so that might be true. I'm assuming it is because I'm taking your word at face value and I'm only halfway through book 3. But if you're taking a 14 book series and condensing it down into possibly 8 seasons, you're gonna have to speed up the rate at which that inciting force happens for Perrin for him to do something. And a finale is the perfect point for Perrin to do something.
Well, I don't like any of the characters is what I found. Like at the end, I'm like, okay, I liked Matt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's just gone. What other character?
Evil.
Maybe. I think that's just them trying to be sneaky. But honestly, I just what about so Nynaeve has shown herself to be extremely powerful and capable, and Rand has shown himself to be able to do things as necessary. Like those two I don't have a problem with. They're fine. They're in keeping with, but I don't have a reason to like Perrin, frankly, right now.
Right.
Like he just kind of putzes around and tells Egwene that we'll always be okay. Like, and he's like, and if Rand dies, hey, I'm not going to burn any bridges here, Egwene. So, and what did Egwene do? She healed the hero at the end. Like she didn't do anything either. She's just like almost died, and Nynaeve have had to save her too.
Yeah.
I like those two and Matt. That none of them, like Rand and Nynaeve are fine. The other three, I guess they're kind of likable, but really, I like Moraine. I like Lan, like the people of action, the people who did something.
Right.
And so if the show's to continue, we need to have a reason to like these people. And I don't.
And you don't like them.
Right. I like them in the
boring.
books. The books, they're fine. I like them in the books.
Right.
But for the people watching independently, like without having read the books.
Does it translate?
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be interested to hear people on, if you want to go hit up our Discord server, we'd love to hear what your thoughts are on, or leave comments on YouTube or whatever. What did you think of this. Like, do you like the Emmond Fielders? Do you like the characters in this series at all so far? I'd be really interested to know.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, Perrin in particular, I just feel bad about. He's just doing nothing.
It was such a missed opportunity.
You know what I would like to know? Does Perrin have thoughts?
like I just finished watching an episode of something, and I message him. I'm like, hey, I'm done. Like, let's gonna do our podcast. And Perrin's like, I don't have thoughts. I'm like, oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah. Like, does he have thoughts?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand which sucks, because, and this is why it sucks even more in this episode, is because he started out with, like, I understood why they changed his storyline a little bit at the beginning to give that broody emo boy some kind of depth, and he started out going, and then it just plummeted here.
Yeah. I wanted to see the wolf in him. I wanted him to be like, okay, there's a dark friend and 2 Myrddraal, like, let's go. And he doesn't have to win. No. I just wanted him to be like, all right, like, we're gonna fight. Like, this isn't an acceptable thing. You killed all my friends. You're a dark friend. You're awful. We're gonna go. Like, that's the Perrin that you read about even in book 1. Like, he's just like, there's a certain level of acceptability of certain things, and this doesn't meet it. I'm gonna change it myself because that's what I have to offer. Like, that's what I can do.
And we see that, like, his character arc, or what it seemed like they were doing this entire season, looked like it was leading to that.
Right.
Especially when you factor in, like, you understand why he's quiet, you understand why he's moody, like, he killed his wife and hates his axe, hates his tools, all this kind of stuff. Absolutely, pours his heart out and confesses to Egwene, has this, wolf moment. Everything is just like, we're still going, and then it just stops.
I'll just now you can go take the horn. That's fine. You and your Myrddraal do what you want. You said some things about ta'Veren about us, so you can go now.
Yeah, I was like, this is just it. It was just anticlimactic.
Totally, in every sense of the like the Nynaeve and the channeling stuff. That was cool on some levels and stuff. But
yeah,
then the Rand and Moiraine stuff. That was everything had an interesting thing, except for Perrin. He's like, oh, I dropped the ball. My bad, guys. But did you know I'm ta'Veren and the Dark One's been playing us?
Right. Gonna go have a nap.
Yep. That does sound nice, but we're being fair.
Oh, man. Okay, so I think that is, like, pretty much all of them. We see, like, a snippet, like we mentioned, a snippet of Mat, which could just be Padan Fain playing trickery. It was cutting room floor footage for sure.
And we see Min leaving the city.
Right.
Which, okay, cool. She's gone. She gone.
Right.
And then, so you want to talk about Rand and Moiraine?
I think so, because I feel like maybe we won't be so rippy.
Yeah. Maybe. I guess we'll see.
We might.
Okay, so you think you like the Rand and Moiraine part better?
I think so.
Okay. I think I did too, a little bit at least.
It was still anticlimactic. It was not at all what I expected, but I think I liked it better.
Okay.
I don't know. What did you think?
It was more in keeping with the book, which was nice, I guess. I mean, I know that this has to be different than the books and everything, but I feel like there were so many weird things that happened, and nonsensical things at that, in the, like, the epic battle side of this show, that like didn't that weren't things that really happened in the books at all, and that's fine. But this was nice to have some kind of an anchor of like, okay, there's at least something here that I can kind of latch onto a little bit, some kind of thing that approaches, I don't know, approaches recognition, I guess.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I can follow that.
It's like, okay, like you, let's say you get lost in some foreign town or something, like you get there and you get lost and you can't, and then you see a familiar face and it's not even someone you like, it's just some random guy you went to school with like a long time ago, but you see him and you're like, I reckon, like, I, you know, that person is, it's going to be a very exciting moment that you actually reckon, like, I'm saved, kind of, and
Mhm.
not that saved it. It just having any kind of anchor, knowing that this is actually still Wheel of Time and not some weird fantasy madness was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um, I liked them going through the blight in general because I felt like you got a little bit of information, because realistically, all you're going to do when you're filling that time of them walking through it is
Hmm.
conversation between Rand and Moraine. And
Sure.
that was the perfect time for Rand to start asking all of these questions
Yeah.
and, have Moraine give him all of this, not all of the information, but little snippets of information.
I thought it was funny. It took him a long time. It took him all the way till he get all the way to the Eye of the World for him to ask, like, oh, aren't you supposed to die too? Like,
Yeah.
you remember, I noticed that, like, you know, way back when they were, you know, I guess they should have been focused more on their own lives and everything, but it was
Right.
nice to see that acknowledgement of, yeah, she thinks she's gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah. I did like that they handled that and they put it in there.
Yeah.
I like that Rand noticed it. It is funny, like you said, that he got all the way there before he was like, "Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna die here."
Aren't you gonna die too? Like, okay.
Yeah.
But and she just showed that she's like, no, I'm gonna go. Like, she didn't just say it, she demonstrated. I do really like Moraine's will here.
Mhm.
She's my favorite character of this show.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Matt, but then he just petered out after episode 3. So you can't. She consistently has been capable and does what she needs to do every
Mhm.
time, even if I don't always agree with everything she does. Like, she's the one who makes everything happen. Her will, and it's not, and it's born out of a selflessness that is underlined by the fact that she's just going to die for this one thing because she really believes that that's what needs to happen.
Right.
So props to Moraine. Good on her.
Yeah. What did you think about the dream sequence that they were in the blight?
Did you think that she was dead when she got stabbed? What did you
No.
think? No, yeah,
I
me
I
either.
knew it was I knew it was a dream.
I was pretty sure too.
Yeah. As soon as she got stabbed,
Hmm.
I was like, okay, this is the dream sequence.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And then I did like, though, that when he did wake up after that, it was the exact same phrasing from her as what was in his dream sequence.
sure.
Um, I thought that was nice.
Yeah, I liked that too. And I have to say, I really liked Ishamael's acting. Actually, like his
Yeah.
arrogant, just I don't know. He was so smooth and so he was. I mean, he was like unlikable, but still, I really enjoyed him. He was. I hope
He
we see a
was
lot more of him.
he was so smug too. Like,
Hmm.
like when Rand was like, "Oh, I got this from my father," and he's like, "Oh, you think that's your father?" Like, just so smoothly arrogant and smug about
Hmm.
everything. and
Yeah.
and you could tell he wasn't showing his cards exactly,
Right.
but you could tell he had the whole deck. Like, he knew exactly what he was doing,
Yeah.
exactly what he was talking about, and he knew that he knew more than Rand.
Right. He's the kind of guy I would hate to interact with. Like, I would hate it, that whole interaction in person. If it
Yeah.
was, if I was Rand or whatever, I wouldn't like it. But watching it is really fun.
Yeah,
He
totally.
he was really cool. You could tell he's a master manipulator. Apparently, that's they do that manipulation thing well in this. It like the showrunners do a good job of that. Like they show Moiraine pulling all the levers, pushing the buttons, etc. And they also, and they show Swan doing that to a lesser degree, and even Liandrin, like the Aes Sedai in general, and then they show Ishamael also, who doesn't have as much real power as he'd like you to believe or whatever. He needs Rand to do the heavy lifting, right. And yet he's tricking Rand into doing stuff, and he does it in a really, I don't know, really interesting, fun way to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was well done.
I liked it, at least.
Yeah. Okay, so then like they're in the Eye of the World now. What did you think of the Eye of the World overall? Like when you first saw it.
Okay, so they're doing two different things here, though, which I guess I'm fine with it, because it's always been a very nebulous what exactly is the Eye of the World. In the books, I don't think they ever revisit that at all. After the first book, almost a couple small references here and there, but like that's not where the Dark One lives. In like he lives in Shale Ghul, and there's the bore where people tried to drill in to find him, and when he was released, then they were able to patch it up with seals. That's what the 100 Companions did. They patched up the bore, like the big giant hole that they were drilling to find the Dark One, to find the energy source that they found. They patched it up, and that's what that's what the Dark One's seals are. That's what Moiraine is holding at the end, is this is a broken seal. And so but that's a different place than the Eye of the World. So they're combining them, which I'm fine with, because who really needs both of them? You can do both, right? I don't know. It was just a weird. The blight is consuming everything, it's destroying everything, and yet there's these ruins that have been around for a long time in the middle of the blight. Why haven't they been consumed? What's going on here exactly?
Yeah, it was just weird.
What did you think of it?
I don't know what I was supposed to expect, but like in my mind's eye, when I was reading the book, the Eye of the World was just a really pretty field. So I saw like this miserable dark area. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, that's because the Green Man, who it didn't make his appearance, so that's fine. But he's the one who kind of protects the Eye of the World, and so it is a pretty green field, because like people wander into it in the book, and like it's beautiful. It's like we're in the blight, and then suddenly you're in this beautiful,
pretty green field.
Yeah, and it's with flowers and beautiful trees, and very, very Sound of Music-esque kind of situation, and a crazy, weird tree creature, and all of that's fine. I thought it was but they didn't need to have that, but yeah, I can understand why you would think. I don't know. So the Dark One and his Forsaken are trapped there, apparently.
Yeah.
And the Forsaken apparently have enough power to still Moiraine.
Right?
Why didn't he just kill her? If he could affect her that way, why didn't he just kill her?
Just get her out of the way.
He's like, I've really missed human companionship, so I'm going to steal you because I'm a dick, but I'm going to keep you alive so I have someone to talk to.
Yeah. I mean, but like, you're right. Like, why wouldn't you just kill her? Then you don't have to worry about her killing Rand.
Right. Or influencing him in any way. Yeah. Yeah. I liked the depth of her resolve too. Like she's going to kill Rand. So there's no question she's going to kill him if she thinks he's gone bad. Yeah. And then what's that?
I was just going to say, which was exactly what you said, like highlights her resolve.
Yeah. Yeah. And I liked that Rand was able to see through his lies. I thought that was good, because we don't have enough about Rand either, frankly. Like, we just don't know enough. Like, is he a good person? Really? Like, he's loyal to his friend, to
Mhm.
Matt. But what else? What more do we really know about Rand?
His dad's a shepherd.
Yeah,
That's about it.
yeah. So there's some interesting things going on. It was nice to see though he was able to unravel the lie of okay. So
Mhm.
somehow they're able to create a dream that Egwene even knew this, like where the dream character knew
Yeah.
facts that they shouldn't, but then yeah, Ishamael comes, and I feel like he overplayed himself because he's like, okay, I'm gonna give you a vision of Moraine just being stabbed to death. Like I'm clearly a bad person, and
Yeah.
and then he shows up in this next dream, and Rand's like, you know what? Why should I trust you?
Yeah. I, I mean, I will say I was very happy that Rand saw through it, and he seemed to. I don't know. I don't know if this is because I've read past that part in the book or what, but it felt obvious to me watching it that he was going to see through it.
Yeah, I didn't want Rand to go back. Like I want a hero. I want people I can root for.
Yeah.
And yeah, I want a good guy. And so the fact that he's able to see through the lie and not be selfish and actually, you know, that I did like that about his character of he says, I want this. Just because I want it though doesn't mean that Egwene should have to do this just because I want it. Like that's a very really powerful moment for him, at least as a character. He can say, okay, there's more to life and even to my life than me.
Right.
Other people's choices matter.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I did like how they showed him channeling though when in that dream sequence.
Yeah. I like that in the first dream sequence, he stabs himself to get out of the dream. That was
I know.
pretty gruesome, but epic.
I was like, okay,
Gosh,
he's going there.
you got to feel confident to the extreme to just kill yourself to get out of a dream.
Right.
like you really couldn't have like tried to slap yourself first.
Just walk away,
just,
anything.
Just go straight for the sword through the gut.
Ugh.
But yeah. No, sorry, you were gonna say something, I feel like.
No, I was just saying that I just enjoyed how, again, like how they show the one power, like when you're channeling and how it comes through. And then I really enjoyed that you could see like the taint coming right after. Like it was great.
Yeah, it was cool. And then yeah, so then he tells Moraine, he's like, yeah, you can lie for yeah. I love his confidence that she'd find a way to lie.
Right.
He's like, you'll find a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it. You've done it before.
Yep. This is
and then we see her. She's like, yeah, he's gone.
Right.
Which like he's gone.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not a lie.
From a certain point of view.
And this is the only point too where Lan comes back.
I feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi would make a good Aes Sedai. Just saying.
He would.
he's like many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view.
Aes Sedai. Yeah, it's yeah, so
Obi-Wan Sedai.
Obi-Wan Sedai. Yeah, so Rand's gone.
Yep.
He left.
He gone.
And Moraine's stilled, apparently.
So I'm not going to spoil. There's that's not what happened in the books. Obviously.
Right. Right.
I have suspicions on what's going to happen that's going to be linked to the books.
Okay.
But I really that's pretty far into the books. I really don't want to spoil anything unless it comes up.
Okay.
I'll just say that there may be some hope for Moraine in the future, potentially, depending on what choices they choose to make with the show.
Okay.
So,
good to know.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that as well as I predicted the show being like I predicted all the main elements this time, which obviously I don't always predict things well, so I'm not trying to like lord it over anyone, but I for how closely I got it correct, I
Mhm.
just didn't like any of it. The execution of it was just really frustrating to me.
It was the execution, 100%.
Yeah, Perrin could have had his epic becoming moment, a growth moment or something. Even if he did got his ass kicked, he
Mhm.
still would have been cool to see him just like no, but he didn't. He's just like instead he's an okay man. He's not even a yes man. He's like
I
okay, okay,
guess I'll follow
okay,
along.
blah blah blah. But I'm good. I'm good with Egwene though. We're me and Egwene. We're good. We're good.
Oh man. Um uh okay, so all of these people died in this
Yeah,
episode. I feel like we need to go over this rip list that we made real quick
yeah.
because there was just like for the first one that floored me right away was Loyal.
Gosh,
I
what?
was like, yeah, we just got him.
And he's in the rest of the series. Like he's
We
interesting. He does important things.
we just got him.
Yeah.
What the actual F?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. So rest in peace, Loyal. And yeah, I'm looking at our list. I wrote next was Bella, which obviously that was previously, but I mean,
But
I
still.
I feel like just as a microcosm, like so. I my thought here's my uncharitable thought. They don't have enough money to really have a lot of horses in the show that much,
Right. Right.
and so they're making like the blight normally is allowed you're allowed to have horses in the blight, but they're
Mhm.
like let's not do that because that's probably going to be a lot of money. Let's also not have horses in the ways, which normally horses can be in the ways. I think
Right.
they're going to find more excuses not to have horses, and them killing off Bella was a way for to show us that they don't care about horses. They give
Well,
zero F's about horses.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I want more horses, but
Yep.
yep. So Bella's gone. Agomar,
Yep.
rest in peace, Agomar, just dies
Hmm.
ignominiously, whatever.
Uh Amalisa,
Yeah, and her two
her two
random channelers
cronies, gone. Those
gone.
those
Yep,
two girls that got beheaded, gone.
gone. Yep.
All of the random dudes that were trying to get the horn out,
Yep. Yep. Uno and
you
the guy
know.
who was going to be Inktar but now isn't. It
Hmm.
was Lord something or other.
Gone.
Gone. Yep. Rest in peace.
Hmm.
Um, Moraine's ability to channel. Rip.
Dead.
Yep. Almost naive. Rip.
Can I just say, like, when that happened, I was like, you can't really do this. I don't think. I wouldn't put it past you, but no.
I wouldn't have been able to stop rolling my eyes if she died. If she just like she's gone. She's not coming. Like she's one of the more stronger characters that they've had so far. Like she's one of the
Hmm.
most interesting ones that they've made.
Hmm.
So and then yay, Higuain did something.
She channeled.
Yeah, woohoo! She did something more than burn some ropes.
Yeah, more than little puffs of smoke. Oh,
She's really coming along really well.
oh man.
Yeah, rest in peace. The parents' willingness to do anything useful at any point in this series is what I wrote.
Oh man.
Such an
Aaron.
extreme thing. Yeah.
He had so much potential.
Uh, maybe we'll see better. So many, rest in peace, Abel Cawthon's fidelity.
Yeah.
Rest in,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. Rest in peace, the Wine Spring Inn, which
It's
was
gone.
used. Yeah, it was used as ammunition.
Oh man.
Which
And then
whatever, I don't care.
whatever they're doing with Matt's character arc,
Yeah.
that's gone.
I hope that other people like it more. I've actually had 3 other people message me saying that they hated this episode so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
But they're all people who like the books though. So again, it's impossible for me to see this objectively for
Mhm.
someone who has never read the books. So
And I'm seeing it from the objective of just starting the series.
mm,
So I feel like I'm not totally objective here, but
right. Well, yeah, I don't think you can be, even as much as you've read.
yeah.
I mean, you read the full first two books at least, so you know all the major plot points.
Mhm.
One interesting thing though, at the very end, they introduced the Shan Chan. The Shan Chan are here, the guys with the red
Mhm.
sails, and they're an important part of book two. So I'm glad that they showed that, and they showed they're channeling slaves, the Damani. I don't know how they're gonna say it in
Yeah.
the, but I think there'll be some interesting things there. Hopefully, potentially interesting.
Mhm. Yeah, I liked that scene. I thought that scene was probably one of the stronger ones in the episode.
I felt sad for the little girl.
I did too. I was like, that's part of the reason why I liked it so much. She was just, it was just a sad, you knew what it implied.
I just had to wonder, like, so this is my thought, and then it was totally validated. I was like, in this world where everyone dies at like, it's just this really dark, everyone's dying all the time to everything. There's just so many malicious a-holes about. I wouldn't let my little girl just go collect seashells on her own.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, Shan Chan are like, yep, we're gonna kill her.
We're here.
Yeah, valid
Oh,
Adam.
so sad.
Yeah, I honestly think this is my least favorite of all eight.
Yeah. It had so much potential.
Yeah,
I feel like in general, plot wise, I think they set it up properly for season 2 and like you want to see what's going to happen now.
yeah,
It just wasn't executed right.
yeah. Like they ran out of money,
Yeah.
or they were rushed, or the fight scenes with the Trollocs could have been so much more interesting, but they weren't. We still
Mhm.
haven't seen Myrtle do anything. They're just like float around and have
Yeah.
teeth. You know,
Yeah. They haven't really done anything.
like I'm not scared or menaced by the Myrtle. It's like, oh, okay, they're like squad commanders. That's cool, I guess. Like the Trollocs die and the Myrtle just stand there. Okay, and have
Yeah.
teeth.
And have teeth.
Yep.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll get something epic in this next one. I mean, it's just so start of book two. It's the hunt for the horn, and so the people hunting the horn. It's Rand and Matt
Mhm.
and Perrin and Loyal
Rip.
and then Lord Ingtar, which they didn't have him in this
Right.
apparently. Yeah. So who's gonna hunt for the horn now? Matt is somewhere.
Doing whatever he's doing.
Rand is somewhere. Perrin is moping about, muttering, okay. Loyal is
Dead.
where Bella is. Yeah. He's with Bella now
Oh,
for some
sad.
reason.
Sad.
For no reason. And Uno.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Lord Ingtar we haven't met yet.
yeah. So who's gonna hunt for the horn? Okay, boy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Okay with Egwene. Yeah. So we'll see.
Well,
Moraine is, yeah, she's
she's stilled.
all right. This is a very disappointing ending, and I don't know. I want to end on like the Shan Chen thing was kind of cool, but it wasn't enough to save it, certainly.
No. I don't think it was either.
We'll see. I'll watch the next season for sure. There's no question that I will watch it. I don't
Mhm.
even know if I'm going to rewatch this one until we get kind of close to, like, I was hoping that this would have a really good rewatchable value.
Well,
And
that's what I was hoping too, because a lot of these shows I like to rewatch after all of the episodes have been released, and I will be a real big loser and just watch them all in one sitting like a real long movie. and
Yeah.
they flow much better when you do that, I found. So I was really looking forward to that, and now I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, I was into it up till this episode. Actually, I'd convinced myself this is a new spinning of the wheel. Like, we're good. It's a new telling, and they told it poorly this time. So, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. I'd rather have a dud of an episode be episode 5 than the finale than episode 8.
Yeah. And that's the problem, is because it was the finale.
Right. You just want something a little more, and it's significantly less, and that's it. I don't know. So yeah, would love to hear what you guys think about it. The people listening to it, come join our Discord server if you'd like. That's in the show notes, or if the video description if you're watching on YouTube. We would love to talk about it. Maybe you can talk me out of my drearified stance, because I'm feeling gloomy right now.
Yeah. I just feel sad.
So we just hang up now?
I guess that's it. We don't have any other. I feel like if we say anything else, we're just going to make ourselves more sad.
Yeah. So we will probably try to organize some sort of watch party or something like that for for something Wheel of Time related. Maybe some episodes leading up to the release of season 2, or maybe something else. I don't know. Maybe just watching the first few episodes of season 2. But we'll do that. So if you want to know about that, I guess just listen to our regular podcast, and or join our Discord. We'll have notifications about that. Obviously, it'll be in a year-ish from now, but
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Should still be around.
Yeah.
The books don't suck. So
no, and we're still gonna keep going with the books.
Yeah. We're gonna find out about the real Eye of the World here pretty soon in the books. So
and the Green Man.
But yeah. Yay. Ish.
Okay, so no other thoughts.
I haven't just suddenly gone vapid, but I think I'm good. I think I got most of it out.
I think I did too.
Okay, so thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah.
Or listening.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Sarah.
That was really sad. Okay, cool. So we'll see you next week, I guess, for a happier episode.
I hope so.
Oh man. Cool. Well, that's it. Adam, everybody, may you always find water and shade.
Yeah. Hopefully there's more water and shade next season.
Yeah.